What happens to our loved ones when they die? Where do they go? Do they still exist? Is there any way to stay in touch with them after they leave this world? Why did they have to go away? What will happen to me when I die? Hello, my name is Julia Jerry Knapp. I'm a translator, interpreter, astral traveler, afterlife researcher, and author of the book The Afterlife, Hereafter and Here at Hand, 3 tried and tested methods to stay in touch with those who have gone before us. Ever since I was a young girl, I have always been fascinated by life's great mysteries, especially death and the afterlife. When I was 9 years old, I began experiencing strange phenomena, including sleep paralysis. At the time, these felt confusing and frightening, so I tried my best to avoid them. I started reading about near-death experiences when I was a teenager. Eventually, when I grew up, I learned how sleep paralysis could lead to astral travel. When I was 27, something happened that shook up my life completely. My grandma passed away. Her death was a great shock for me, and it brought up deeply troubling thoughts and emotions. For the next 5 years, I had frequent nightmares about her. My mind was in pain. I simply could not believe my grandma no longer existed. But if she was still alive somewhere, I had no idea where that might be or what she might look like. This event made me question the whole concept of physical death, but there was no one near me who could answer my questions. Growing up in Italy, we are discouraged from thinking too much about what happens after death. In fact, we are taught that trying to communicate with those who have passed on is considered morbid or even sinful. Then, in 1993, I visited the Spiritualist Association of Great Britain, based in London. There, thanks to a very good medium I met, I broke through my mental prison and realized that my grandma was not dead, but still very much alive. At first it was almost inconceivable, and my own mental filters prevented me from seeing her clearly. But as I gradually let go of my preconceptions, I had vivid contact, and not only with my grandma, but with many others who had left this world. As soon as I made this breakthrough, all my nightmares ended, and I realized that I could use astral travel for specific purposes. I grew bold, and my mind opened to a new world of possibilities. I started studying everything I could find in Italian and in English. I learned about the philosophy and mechanics of mediumship. The following year, I started working as a translator at mediumship training events in the UK and in Italy. I attended hundreds of private sittings, as well as dozens of public demonstrations of mediumship and lectures and workshops on the subject. I studied with many certified mediums and did volunteer work in the field of bereavement support. I also teamed up with other afterlife researchers, experimenting with after-death communication and how it works. Over the years, all these experiences made me realize that many people who are interested in the subject of mediumship are themselves deeply bereaved. They have lost someone important in their lives and are full of questions, just like those I asked at the beginning of this video. In their hearts, they don't want to believe their loved ones no longer exist. But in their minds, they want practical evidence of life after death. Seeing and feeling their pain and frustration, I felt a powerful urge to do something to help answer their questions, so people suffering from loss could find some peace. And that's why I wrote my book, the afterlife, hereafter and here at hand. 3 tried and tested methods to stay in touch with those who have gone before us. This book is for all those who are bereaved, as well as those who may have fears about their own mortality or questions about the afterlife. In this book, I show you how death is not the end of life, but the reawakening from an illusion. I teach you how and why it is possible to stay in touch with those on the other side, and how the departed find it easier to stay in touch with those they love, rather than with people they never knew. Finally, I show how your departed loved ones are closer to you now than they have ever been before, and how they are only too willing to reassure you, watch over you, and guide you. The afterlife, hereafter and here at hand teaches you 3 different approaches to being in touch with your departed loved ones while you are awake, while you are falling asleep, and while you are asleep. Now, being in touch means different things to different people. Some might physically see or hear those on the other side, but your unique way of being in touch could be a flash in your mind's eye, a fleeting thought, or an intuitive feeling. Or it could simply mean knowing your loved ones are always with you. This book will give you the spiritual understanding and practical skills to find your own individual way of gently and lovingly reconnecting with those you thought you had lost. What's more, these skills will help you deepen your connection with living loved ones. After all, we are all made of the same essence, and there really is no difference between the living and the dead. Originally written in Italian, the brand new English edition of The Afterlife, Hereafter and Here at Hand is now available on Amazon and other reputable online retailers. Just go to the web page on your screen and you'll find links to purchase the book. To show my appreciation for your support, when you buy the book, I would also like to give you a gift, a guided meditation MP3 with an exercise to help you as you connect with the spirit world. This audio meditation will teach you how to ground yourself, how to expand and connect with the other side, and how to withdraw your energy so you can come back to this plane consciously and easily. This is Julia Jerry Knapp. Thank you so much for listening today. I do hope you'll check out my book, The Afterlife, Hereafter and Here at Hand. And remember, whether on this plane or the next, we are all made of the same essence.